All right, so I'm here with Nam. We're gonna go to our buddy's shop to check out some of the stuff on the car. Are you excited? You drove it a couple times now.
Yeah.
How's driving stick around the neighborhood?
I still need to practice a lot.
So what are you gonna use this car for?
Driving to school for work and going around like neighborhood and autocross.
Okay, so just
Yeah.
should be your new little daily driver, stuff like that. Um, but the previous owner told you there were some issues, right?
Yeah.
So what do you remember? Let's highlight some of those issues so we can check them out.
The oil pan is leaking, so have to look at that. There's a squeak in the right wheel suspension.
Why don't you go over there? Yeah, there's this squeak. Why don't you see if we could hear it? Press on it. Oh, right now it's okay, huh?
That's fine.
We got to check it out. But you could hear it earlier as you're driving low speed, stuff like that. So maybe just the spring's not seated or something slightly rubbing. But okay, so you got oil pan that we got to check out. That stuff, we're getting new tires and wheels for it. That's coming in. Paint's in kind of rough shape. So we got some plans for that. We might try polishing it first. And we'll see how that looks. And probably regardless, even if it looks good, we might end up doing some plasti dip, huh?
Yeah.
Just gonna dip it in a similar blue, see how that looks. Anything else you remember? Now this antenna is always up.
Yeah.
I think that's something to fix, but the radio works, so that's good. I think there's some knickknacks in the trunk that need to be fixed. But top's in good condition. Just a couple random things in here, right? Oh yeah, we had the fuse for your cigarette adapter or 12-volt adapter. We got to check that out. That one's not powered up. And yeah, all right, cool. So let's pull it in. All right, cool. So we have it on an alignment rack, which would be good because then we could just lift it, check out what's underneath. A couple other things we remembered as we were pulling this in. The AC's not working, which is totally fine because it's still winter. And our airbag light is on, but we will fix that later. We might put in a racing wheel anyway, so we'll see. Awesome, so got the wheels chalked. We're actually going to lift it up first. So there's a nice little Hunter alignment machine that we're going to be using. So let's see how this works. Everything's clear, right? We're good?
Yeah.
No body parts, no items around the lift. So watch out, back up. So, raising lift. Nobody's around, we should be good. Alright, cool, got the lights. So yeah, there's a big fat oil leak. Come on, look at it, Nam. It's gonna be your problem now. So we gotta see how we're gonna remove this. Not that big of a deal. I mean, it's pretty dirty, but we'll check it out. We'll clean it up. We'll order parts. So the main thing we're looking here is just the overall condition of the car. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Got a nice little Cusco brace down here. That's nice. Didn't know that came with the car. Pretty awesome. New catalytic converter. That's cool. So let's see. Shine the light over here. Let's see if we could even see where it could potentially be squeaking. Yeah, it might be that little rubber bushing up there with the spring, because it looks just dry. There's nothing else really that could squeak here. The sway bar doesn't look like it's hitting anything. This other stuff looks good. Oh yeah, we got Cusco coilovers too. It's fancy. Alright. So let's go ahead and clean this up first. Alright. Zap it with some of that simple green stuff, Nam. Yeah, so our deal here is pretty much all the work that has to be done on this car is his responsibility. So all we're doing right now is just get the pan to. See if you can make it a wider spray.
Oh, it's only like that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And then spray a little bit on the transmission tunnel back there. Yeah, just let it sit a little bit. And then you can spray a little bit on the paper towel. So right now all we're doing is just kind of cleaning it up so the next time we bring it in we can see actually how bad this leak is. So this car's been sitting a while, so it's got a lot of leaks, but we're hoping it's not too bad. Also got to figure out how much work we have to do to actually replace the gasket. We'll find out. I think we might have to lift the motor a little bit. But it'd be ideal if we could do it with just dropping the pan. And as you can see down here, we only have access to some of the bolts. Not all of them. But I think we might be able to just drop it out. Look it up, find out. We'll probably take care of it in a week or two. Brakes still look good. Previous owner gave us some Brembo rotors and pads that we could also replace with later when we need to. But everything else in the car looks okay. We got to get to the compressor later too, so that's on the list of things to get. But while we're waiting for this to soak, let's take a look at the rest of the car, Nam. So yeah, back here things look pretty decent. Suspension looks good and dry, like we want. Differential looks good. Back here everything looks good. Wow, that is a tiny little sway bar. Put your finger next to that sway bar. That's crazy small. Little sway bar right there. That's like nothing. Okay. And here's our muffler. Super small muffler with a big canister. It is kind of loud in the cabin. We might want to do something with this right here. So you can see it's slightly melted the bumper a little bit just because the tip is so close to it. So sometime before we repaint it, we probably want to put an exhaust tip on it or weld on a new exhaust tip piece. We will see. I think we just get a bolt-on one that will extend it, and then maybe a little bit of metal or carbon fiber to support the bumper so that the paint doesn't get melted anymore. Should be good to go. Alright, so let's wipe this down, clean it up. Try and time lapse this or something. We'll get you gloves next time. Just didn't have gloves this time. Yeah, while he's cleaning that, let's look. The front tires are awesome. We got some Toyo R1Rs, a couple years old but plenty of tread. The rear tires need to be replaced soon. It's okay to drive around the street right now. It's a little mismatched, but that's okay. We'll get replacement tires. We're probably getting completely new rims and tires anyway, and just leave these for backups. No problem. Okay, let's go ahead and lower the lift now. So, clear, lowering lift. So on these, to lower it, you first have to raise it. And then you press lock release. And then we slowly lower. And that way it doesn't lock. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is put the steering wheel thing on. So, careful, Nam. I'm going to have you do it. So the way this works is you put this on, this goes on the seat. You push this down, and then this goes under the steering wheel. Okay, and you have to watch out for the spring. It snaps back. You could jam your finger. But first make sure the steering wheel looks straight.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's right.
Looks a little off to me. Go to the right. Well, we're not really making alignment changes, we're just looking, so we'll be fine. Good. I'd probably rotate the steering wheel a little bit. It looks a little bit to the left. A little bit more. That looks good. Cool. So that's the first step. Then the second one, go ahead and get one of the wheel chocks. Or not the wheel chocks, sorry. The little, I don't know, the clamps for the wheel. Yeah. Let's pull that one out. We got 4. And you just center it. About center to the wheel. You get the angles, clip it to the tire. Somewhere in the tread, that's good.
We might want to move it a little bit.
Too far?
It's a smaller wheel.
Ah.
Just
Yeah,
press
smaller
this.
wheel, so we gotta adjust those. That way it doesn't hit the fender and stuff like that as you roll it back and forth, right? And then you lock that. Cool. You saw how that was done? 3 more wheels to go. Do it.
All the way to the right or left?
We're at the other one.
Okay.
So this is for bigger wheels.
Right.
So you want to move it in.
You'll see. So just why don't you
Yeah.
just put it on and you'll see why it doesn't work, and then you can adjust it. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, like you see how much.
You adjust it?
So you press this piece, and you see how it now it's the
Yeah.
profile is closer to what your tires are, the
Yeah.
diameter, and then push it back up from the bottom. So just go ahead, push from the bottom, push it back up so it locks.
There you
So
go.
it's good. And then do the other side. Yep. And then now you center it, and then you push that little lever down. Yeah, don't worry about it. You just gotta get used to it. Yep, and press that lever, and it'll hold it. All right. So double check and make sure it's in the center. So you want it to be as center as possible. You can move it just a little bit. It's fine. Yeah. But you see how this is flat now?
Yeah.
If you didn't move it, it would.
Cool. 2 more? Alright, 3rd wheel.
Oh, you forgot to put the air.
Oh, yeah, I'll have them do that. Do we do it now?
Yeah, you can do it now.
Okay.
Or
Because we're going to roll it back and forth, right?
Oh, those already locked.
yeah, so you
Lock the other
see
way.
how you have room here?
Yeah.
You want it all the way in, so it grabs it. Same thing with that. And then center it, and then push it down. Yeah, not that centered.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not that.
I'll fix it.
I'll fix it. You see how much gap you have up here? And then you see how much gap you have down there? It's a little off.
Yeah, just try to keep centered. Yeah. Left and right too. So you just all you have to do is just lift this thing. Just move it a little bit.
Okay.
It's good. Watch TV. Stay there.
You want to watch YouTube? I have a new channel. Man's got to pay for his Miata mods. So, please watch. Alright. Once you get it pretty close, you can lock it and then you can make fine adjustments. How does that look, Young?
Looks pretty good.
Close enough?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
We put mount targets so you see where it's at. So now we just have to move the car forward.
We gotta roll it back and forth, right?
Just forward.
Oh, just forward, okay.
Yeah, but without blocking the sensor while you're doing it, so it,
Alright.
it sees the change.
So, Nam, so e-brake is on.
Okay, so take the e-brake off.
So go ahead and take the e-brake off, Nam.
Out of gear.
It should be out of gear already.
We'll probably want to film this point here up front. Okay, there's a...
Cool. Oh, do I have to put the hood down, or is it fine?
It's fine, it's easy.
Okay.
Some cars it blocks it, but this one's small enough. Okay, out of gear?
Yeah.
Well, we'll put a stepping thing
Alright,
for you.
so it's out of gear. So let's see.
Okay, so now we're just going to pull it forward. Okay, out of the way, yeah?
So we can see the car moving. Screen, cool. Oh, it's out already, huh? So that's all?
That's it.
Nice! So we have negative 0.5 and negative 0.7 camber. That's pretty good. Very small amount of toe difference, but the steering wheel might not be even centered properly. We didn't.
Yeah, it's just a little bit off.
Yeah.
But it looks...
But it looks good.
Somebody did it already.
Yeah.
For
And the
stock.
back, -1. Very good. A little bit of toe in. Cool. Just for funsies, can we figure out how to do this caster stuff? Because I've actually never done it on this machine
Yeah.
before.
So somebody needs to jump in.
Okay, so Nam, you can get into the car. You gotta pop the steering wheel thing off, right?
Yeah.
So careful with the steering wheel thing. Hold it down and support it,
Don't pinch
because
it.
it's gonna
Don't
pinch your
it.
fingers.
Yeah.
And then pull it out. There you go. And then go ahead and get in the car.
Can you see?
Yeah. Close the door.
Okay, so we gotta not block anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna hold down the brakes. Okay. Now I want to release the turn plates.
Whoop.
Just hold the brakes down, okay? While you're doing this. Okay, so now you're gonna turn the wheel. You see this? Turn it left and just watch that. It'll tell you when to stop. When you get in the green zone.
Not turning anymore.
Oh, is it because the key has to be in the ignition?
Okay.
Ah, there we go.
Too much.
Too much.
Okay. Then go to right and then hold it there. When you hit the green, like a video game.
The world's most boring video game.
And then go back. There you go. That's it.
Cool. So caster as about 5 degrees.
Yeah.
That's good for a quick turn in, right?
Yeah, it should be at 6.
Nice and
At
floaty.
7.
But it's a Miata though, so you know.
Yeah.
Numbers don't matter. All right, cool. Alignment looks good. That was just so we have a reference point. Let's take a screenshot of this. We also had a wobbly headlight, but we'll fix that, but it seems aligned right now. Go ahead, practice.
There's nobody here right now. You go to the end of the street, you can just make a U-turn into that business and then U-turn out. So it's like a little short loop.
We'll be right here, don't
You
worry.
have to stop at the curb, so it's like, it's good practice.
Yeah, we'll be right here. We'll be watching. Yeah, there's the squeak. I think it's just that rubber.
It's the spring, yeah.
It's the spring. Yeah, because the spring was pretty big.